Hey YouTube, so I'm gonna be going over the Errata cards from yesterday, from the OCG ban list that I went over yesterday. What happened yesterday was I was going on YouTube and I kept F5 kept refreshing, and I saw that no one was posting up the OCG ban list, and I was like, oh wait, I can be the first, yes! And then after I finished uploading it, after I finished recording, editing, uploading it, I found out that there's an Errata version of all the cards that got released. So I look like a complete dumbass, and this is kind of to redeem myself. So if you guys haven't seen the video yet, link will be in the description down below. And yeah, we'll just get right into the Errata cards. So I'm pretty sure everyone saw this website already. So I'm gonna do my own version of the Errata cards, and we're gonna do it by good and bad. So on the top right here, we're gonna have the cards, the Errata version of the cards, and then the bold underline is what changed, and the original card's gonna be on the right here. And yeah, we'll just go over it. So the first change you can see is that during the turn you activate the card's effect, you can activate other cards' effects. So that means that you can't summon it and then activate all your Burning Abyss's effects or your shadolls effects or whatever. Pretty much it's not the same effect as before, just that this downside to the card is added on to the card. So a good thing is that we can play it. Excuse my handwriting, I don't use a mouse to handwrite a lot. It's still going to be a 3000 beater, still like a BLS drop, you can still attack and win the game with it. The bad thing is that it's watered down as hell. I don't think it's as good as BLS, because it's a 3000 dropper. Also I forgot to mention that they only take 300 damage for each of their cards sent to the grave. Not before, it used to be everyone's cards. I think it's still playable, but this day destruction isn't that good, so it might not be played as often as a BLS would be, because BLS Banish is really strong, and you know, if you activate this and they're playing against your dollar BA, everything's gonna activate. So essentially you just lost your hand for no reason. Yep, so that's what I think about Chaos Emperorr Dragon. So next we have Sinister Serpent. So now it's only once per turn, even though it's only at 1, but I'm guessing they want to eventually bring it to 3. So it's only once per turn, and at the end phase of your opponent's next end phase, it gets banished instead. So it's not recurring loop. So essentially it's still a +1. You can still feed your cards with it. You can still Phoenix Wing Blast. It's still essentially free, but you don't get it every turn now, so not every turn. I think there's better cards out there, like BA for example. All the BAs are infinitely better than this because it's a engine. But then in a sense, you don't need to run 9-card engine. Now you just need run one card. Also Shaddoll Water Fusion, this card might be more viable. As of right now, I don't see it being played. I'm pretty sure it's going to be brought back to 3 soon. Alright, so the next card we have is Temple of the Kings. This card was immediately banned when it came out of the Narek Structure deck, so I don't really know what it does, but apparently it's super broken, because it was you can activate traps right when you set them. So there was FTKs with it back then. You didn't make your opponent's play because you set all your traps and you act them right away. And yeah, so but now you can only use it once per turn. So I think Konami is trying to save themselves by making the once per turn clause. You can't break something if you can only do it once, you know. So once per turn. I think the good thing is that it introduces a new type of card in the format. There was no such thing as activating traps during your turn. So I think with this, players might get new ideas with it and try to make a deck around it, because I think this effect is actually pretty broke. You can summon one card from your hand, deck, or extra deck. There hasn't been a card that just lets you do that for free, so I think that's pretty cool. I think this card's gonna get super abused, and it might get its own deck, like the Noted FTK deck in OCG. So we'll see what's gonna do. The next card we have is Exchange of the Spirits. So now it's only activate 1 per duel if each player, and each player needs to have 15 cards. So before you could have just activated it right when you have 15 cards and just activate it right away. It's kind of, you don't even let your opponent play kind of card. I think it's pretty cool because it introduces a new kind of mechanic in the game. So the Temple of the Kings. But I think there's going to be an OTK with it. People are going to abuse this card so much. These kind of cards break the mechanic of the game, so people are going to find the fastest way to break the card, and it's going to get banned again, I think. So I think it's too good to be true. Alright, now the next card we have is Ring of Destruction. Now you can only activate 1 Ring of Destruction per turn. It has to be during your opponent's turn now, and it has to be a card your opponent controls before it can be anyone, and it has to be the attack has to be less than your opponent's life points. So you can't really win with this card anymore. It's more of a doing life points kind of card, like a burn card, if anything. So I think like in the game Yu-Gi-Oh, like where life points doesn't matter anymore, like this card is infinitely worse than what it used to be. And also additional is that you take damage first, then your opponent takes damage. So you could lose before your opponent loses. So there's no more draws. I think the good thing is that it brings back an OG card into the game. But the bad thing is that it just sucks. Like life points don't matter anymore. Destroying cards is not good anymore either. Because I wouldn't see a person running this card at all during your opponent's turn. Like you're not gonna win that turn. You're just gonna kill a card and then, you know, hopefully during your turn you're gonna win. But I see there's a lot of better cards than this out there. And lastly, we have Crush Card Virus. One of the OGest cards ever. It used to be a $300 card, or like a $3,000 card when it was a Shonen Prize card, or $300 when it was a Gold Series when it first came out. It got a big errata. You still do the same tribute. The cost is still the same. You tribute one Dark Monster, 1,000 less attack, and then you see all your opponent's hand and all they control, destroy all monsters 1,500 or more attack. So that's the same as before, but the difference is that before, after it resolves, you can see it for 3 more turns. So essentially information is what matters in the game. So for the next 3 turns, you're going to be destroying their cards and you can see the card. If not, in destroying the card, you're going to see the card they're going to draw. So you can play around that card. But now, it says that your opponent can destroy up to 3 cards with 1,500 more attack from their deck. And they don't take damage for the rest of the turn, like Exaton might. So this is like really good, showing up to 3 cards in your deck. It's like you can activate the BAs from your own deck. So I think this is very bad against BA, and it's very bad against shadolls. I think they also activate, and it's very bad against like almost everything. And your opponent can destroy up to, so they can choose to or not to. So like if you're playing against Clifford, they would obviously go, I don't want to, you know, whatever. It's good that like you can see a OG card like Ring Instruction. You can see it come back in the game, but it's just like terrible bad. The secondary effect is very, very bad. It's essentially giving your opponent +3, if like at most +3 right there. So overall, what I think about the Errata cards, I think it's kind of stupid how like Konami, they just releases broken cards and then they end up like banning it. I mean, banning is okay, but then they end up like errataing it, which is I think is even worse than just leaving it banned. Because now like the traditional format, the cards aren't gonna be the traditional cards anymore. It's gonna be this broken, like this different card. If anything, I would have thought if I was Konami, I would have just made a new card. You know, this is Crush Card Virus is essentially a different card now. It's not what it used to be. So traditional format players or people want to play Go format and stuff like that, like the cards are different now, and like you don't get the original feeling of the card. Also, a big thing that I don't like about it is that players that don't have the Errata version, they can essentially cheat their opponents. So they can say, oh, this is the card, it's not bad, but they're showing them the broken old card, and some players don't know what the old cards do, and they just fall for it. So I mean, why doesn't Konami just make a new card and call it something else instead of releasing this errata version? Unless Konami like lets everyone swap their cards out like at an official Konami event. Like if you go to regionals, like they have the new Crush Card Virus and you just trade it in for them. Unless they do that, I don't think it's fair that the card is so different where like you can cheat out an opponent because of that. And you know, some people don't even know. Like some people don't know it got errated. Like I didn't know Kaiku says 2 monsters. Before it used to be 2 any cards, but now it says 2 monsters. I didn't know that. Let me know what you guys think about the errata cards down below, and I'll see you guys next time. You too. Bye.